And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to 2020 and another edition of Michaela Loves Gymnastics. How are you guys doing? It's been a while. You know, we've already talked about this. I'm not going to keep going through this, but your girl had a little setback towards the end of 2019, but she's back with another video for you guys. How are my gym fam doing? That's what we're gonna call our collectives. We're the gym fam. You know, we're a collective of people who absolutely love this sport, who's absolutely obsessed with this sport, and who absolutely wants to see nothing but the best come from this sport. Now, speaking of the best, in 2020, we have the excitement and the positivity to kick off the new 2020 NCAA gymnastics season. And we're going to talk about, the goings on in the NCAA. Now, we're not going to break down every single team in every single division in every single league in the NCAA. I'm sorry, I work a full-time job. I just don't have time to keep up with the entire NCAA portion of college gymnastics. But what I can say is that I'm going to talk about some of the top teams that I've paid attention to this weekend and some of the top gymnasts from the top teams. And we're going to go in my order, how I rank the teams, not the national rankings. We're going to go with Michaela Loves Gymnastics national rankings. But before we start, like this video, subscribe to this channel, because we're trying to get monetized. I'm not even going to front, I'm not even going to act like I'm I'm trying to get monetized. So like this channel, subscribe. Like this video, subscribe, leave a comment in your girl's comment section. That's where my gym fans and I really connect. In the comment section, we talk, we kiki, we catch up, and we really have adult, civil conversations about the sport that we all love so much. So go ahead. Also, follow your girl on Twitter at Loves, Loves, Gymnastics, and follow your girl on Instagram at Michaela Loves Gymnastics. I have another Twitter account too that I'm trying to figure out how to get access to it again, but that one is Saul Speed, SOLSPEED, and let's get it. First of all, let's talk about the rule changes to the NCAA. Now the girls have to get 6/10 of a point in order to have a routine start from a 10.0. Where I think before it was only 4/10 of a point, so they added 2/10 of a point to the routine. So if you're paying attention, if you've been following NCAA gymnastics for a while, like I have, you would notice that the routines are ever so slightly more difficult than they used to be. Uneven bars is a great example. A lot of girls are doing a major release move on the high bars. Like, this was the typical NCAA routine construction, which is basically Colorado's same routine. Maloney to a bell to handstand, toe shoot up back to the high bar, giant swing, double layout, which is Colorado's routines, which is still worth a 10, I believe. Yes, it's still worth a 10 because they upgraded some skills and they upgraded some combinations. So some girls are basically doing the same routines and it's still worth a 10. But if you notice, like a lot of the girls who like are freshmen this season, they're adding a Tkachev on the high bar, or they're adding toe-ons or straddles, starters to the high bar to get their routine to get all 6/10 of a bonus in order for their routines to start from a 10. And we're seeing a lot more different vaults. Also, everybody isn't just going for the Yurchenko full and trying to upgrade to the Yurchenko 1.5. I've seen a few handspring pipe fronts with a half twist balls. Um, and I've seen a lot of girls work on a Sukahara full twist, which is worth a 10, which I think is a better option for the girls than the Yurchenko full. But that's neither here nor there because I get it. You will have to learn a whole new ball game technique to get the Sukahara style ball. The first team and the first gymnast, and in my opinion, the most dominant gymnast in the NCAA right now, and their team is ranked number one. We're going to talk about OU Sooners, the university, I think it's Oklahoma University. Maggie Nichols looks so good in her senior season. Like, this is the best I think she's looked in her entire college gymnastics career. She looks healthy. She looks strong. She's doing a new first tunnel pass. She's doing a 1.5 step out through to a double back. I think later on in the season she's gonna go back to her full twisting double back. But for now, for the beginning of the season, she wants her floor routine to start from a 10, so she's doing the skills to start from a 10. Another OU gymnast that I'm super excited about is Reagan Smith. Reagan Smith looks to me for the first time since, I'm going to say 2016, she looks completely healthy. She looks strong. Her floor bars and beam could be national champion at later on in the season. Like, she's that great on beam, especially beam and bars. Her routines could be NCAA national champion worthy. Absolutely. I think OU is the most dominant team just by their roster. They have lots of gymnasts. They have Anastasia Webb. They have so many girls who are capable of not only winning the all around at nationals, but getting 10s on so many events. So I think OU, unless they have a major injury, is going to be NCAA champions again. The next team I want to talk about is the UCLA. Wow, their squad is deep. UCLA, to me, I've said this before, if OU is because OU reminds me of the typical Soviet Russian. If OU is the Russians in college gymnastics, then UCLA is definitely Team China in college gymnastics. They are so strong on bars. They are so strong on beam. They're good on floor too. Everybody thinks floor is their best event. I think later on when other schools are throwing harder tunnel passes, I think they're going to surpass UCLA on floor. But for right now, they're so strong on floor. Let's start off with the incomparable, the boss, Kyla Ross. I hope for Kyla in her senior season in the NCAA that she's able to win an all-around national championships. If you think about Kyla Ross' whole career, even in elite, even as a junior elite, Kyla Ross is the Simona Arminar on Team USA. She's always in second or third place. She's always consistent. Everybody knows that she's talented. But Kyla Ross really, I think Kyla Ross won a classic title, but I don't think Kyla Ross ever won a national. She was never national champion. She was never world champion. She was never junior national champion. So I think this is her time to finally win a championship as an individual, as an all-arounder. Yes, she has a national championships with UCLA, and I know that's important in college, but I think Kyla Ross really deserves an individual national title. And I think this is her season to get it. Her flow routine is awesome. I didn't like it at first, but it has completely grown on me, and I love it. It's probably my second favorite flow routine to Mars in all of college gymnastics right now. Her bars are always great, like always. Her beam, it's just something special about her beam routine this year. I think because she added her switch leap, her switch ring back, in order to get her 6/10 of a bonus on beam. her beam routine just looked so flawless to me. I think Kyla Ross again has another. Her and Maggie has chances to get tens on every single event this season, and I really wish NCAA would go back to their old formula, like the World Championships formulas, where you have qualifications, team, all around, and event finals. And I think NCAA is so popular right now that that format could work. Now I get why they stopped doing it because it was NCAA wasn't as popular back in the days, but now NCAA is so popular that I think they could get away with that format once again. Mars. Don't sleep on Marcella Frazier, you guys. Do not sleep on this young lady. I think NCAA gymnastics is going to do well for her. I think, especially next season after Kyla leaves and it's Nina Dennis' senior season, I think the combination between Nina, Mars, and Jordan Childs is going to be a big combination for UCLA going into the next couple of years. Nina Dennis is another one. Don't sleep on this young lady either. I think as a junior gymnast, I think she's comfortable now in college gymnastics. I think she's upgrading her floor tumbling passes. She's gonna start, I think, later on in this season with a double layout instead of an Arabian or a pipe full in. Now I get it, in college they're all tumbling passes, so it shouldn't matter. But it seems just like in college gymnastics, double layout is easier, for lack of a better term, to get a better landing and to get a higher score. If you want to get a 10, it's really hard to get a 10 on floor without a double layout, unless your name is Kyla or Maggie. And I think Mars later on in the season is gonna go back to doing her Yurchenko double twist, which for her I think is a good decision. I think Nina is gonna upgrade also to her Yurchenko 1.5, maybe even her Yurchenko double twist. Who knows? So those are the teams from. Okay, and this is something else I want to talk about. I know it's the SEC. I know what the SEC is because I'm from Florida, so that's the division I'm used to seeing the most. I know there's the Pac-10, but I just can't keep up with all these damn different conferences in college gymnastics. So for me, it's SEC is the East Coast, everything else is the West Coast, and that's how I get through the NCAA season. So I'm sorry if I'm putting people in the wrong conferences. I do not know. Denver is a very strong and talented team. Denver, to me, is the equivalent of Team Italy or Team France in modern day gymnastics. Like, you really don't know who their individual girls are unless you follow the JO divisions that hard. But they always seem to come, like they beat Florida last year to make it to the NCAA Final Four. Denver has a very strong team. Denver has a very strong chance at winning. Coming in third or fourth place at nationals, getting some girls with some individual titles. Denver is definitely a team to watch for. Also a team to watch for, now we're going to the SEC, is Auburn. Auburn has a very strong team. What I like about Denver and Auburn is they don't get the big name recruits so much, but they get solid gymnasts who understand the 10.0 system and who plays the 10.0 system to its best. And that's one of the great things about Denver and Auburn. Auburn has this really talented African American gymnast. I can't think of her name off rip right now, but she should have gotten a 10.0 on her vault. Her vault was flawless. Her vault was way better than Kyla's or Maggie's. Her technique is flawless. Her block is flawless. Her landing was flawless. She should have got the first 10.0 of this season, in my opinion. Now we're going to go to the big name in the SEC, LSU, because I don't know if the SEC start a week late, but I didn't see any competition or any from Florida or Georgia or Alabama. So I don't know if the SEC, as in general, starts a week later than the rest of the conferences. I'm not sure, but UCLA, I think, UCLA reminds me of Team Romania. where their gymnasts aren't the prettiest. Their gymnasts aren't the typical, gymnastics standards or body types or whatever, but they just get the job done. Kennedy Agney really is the leader. Kennedy and Ruby Harrell are truly the leaders of UCLA. By their first competition, UCLA got a chance to win. I think it's between UCLA, LSU. I'm saying UCLA, I'm sorry. LSU has a chance to win from the SEC. Between UCLA, LSU, and Oklahoma, I think those are the top three teams in the country right now, just by what we saw. We haven't seen Florida yet, so. But even with what I know about Florida, I just don't think. Florida reminds me of Team America, Team USA in um, college level gymnastics, because with Florida, I just think they do too much difficulty for college. Like, they could get away with doing a lot less difficulty and getting better scores, but Florida's seem to throw out big skills from the beginning. Like, I'm pretty sure their first week they're gonna have a lot of double layouts on floor and a lot of 1.5 twists on blocks, and it's good to prove that you can do it. But they don't do a good job of saving the girls' bodies, in my opinion. Like, a lot of their gymnasts be really hurt towards the end of the season, and I think that's what always harmed them. But Florida also have the uncomparable, to me, has the potential to being the best gymnast in NCAA, which is Trinity Thomas. And if Florida could just get Trinity Thomas to leave elite gymnastics alone and focus on NCAA and do the routines that she's absolutely capable of and doing them well, Florida is also one of the top teams. I think the top 4 teams in the country right now, to me, from what I saw from preseason, from first week, is OU, UCLA, LSU, and Florida. I think those are the 4 teams that are going to make it to national championships. First of all, I hate that only 4 teams make it to national championships now, where it used to be 6. Well, it used to be 8, and then 2 teams used to get eliminated in prelim, and the top 6 will go on to national championships. I pray soon they bring that formula back. I think Georgia and Alabama are going to have okay seasons. I don't think they're on the top levels right now. I think they're the... Okay, you know how, like, in elite gymnastics, the top teams are the United States, Russia, and China. And after the United States, Russia, and China, there's a big gap for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. It's kind of like that in college gymnastics, too. I think the top teams are UCLA, LSU, Oklahoma, Florida, and Denver. I'm going to add Denver to the top teams list too. And Auburn, to be honest. I'm going to add those. To me, those are the top 6 teams. And then everybody else, there's kind of a huge gap between everybody else, because I think Georgia and Alabama are great teams. I just don't think they're going to challenge for national championships. That don't mean I'm not going to enjoy their seasons and watch and enjoy it. I just don't think, from what I saw, I'm just going by my opinions, that there really are challenges to the top spots in the NCAA. I think Kentucky is also one of those second-tier teams. I think Nebraska is one of those second-tier teams. And I think Arkansas is also one of those second-tier teams. What I'm looking forward to most this entire gymnastics season is, because from first week, the judges were pretty strict with their scoring, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's like, I don't think your Chinko Fools, unless it's done absolutely, positively, spot on, perfectly, like, Sarah Finnegan used to do. I don't think you should be getting a 9.9 on your Chinko Fool. I think they should encourage girls to try 10.0 vaults And 9.95 vaults, if you can't do a 10.0 vault, is there. But I just think unless you're absolutely perfect, I don't think you should be getting 9.9 to 9.95 on those faults. I think those faults, even the great ones, should be like 9.8, 9.85 at best. It should be harder to get a 9.95 on a vault that isn't worth a 10.0. Um, I can't wait until we see more teams next week. I can't wait to see what more individual